My name is Melanie Lasarga, and I have 7 index cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You guys could go ahead and just play back 3 watchers. Alright. Vanessa Guillen. Does that name sound familiar? If not, she was an Army soldier who was reported missing on April 22nd of last year. She never made it home that night and was later reported killed. Who would do this? Why? Today I'll be speaking about the unjustified truth of sexual harassment and harm that women in the military face. Through the research that I have unraveled, I'll address the realities of what women soldiers encounter in a male-dominated profession. The safety of women in the military is overlooked, and laws should be in place to protect them. To fully understand the significance of the situation, I will first discuss the problem, followed by what could be done to alleviate it. To begin, let's first go over the issue at hand. Women in the military are sexually harassed and harmed by other male soldiers. Going back to the example of Vanessa Guillen, Vanessa was 20 years old and had her whole life laid out in front of her. From childhood, she dreamed of being a hero and serving for the people she cared about. On the day she went missing, it was reported by National Public Radio by Schwartz that Vanessa was killed on base by a fellow soldier, Aaron David Robinson. Her sister, Lupe Guillen, continued by stating that Vanessa was too afraid to report sexual harassment because she did not feel that such a report would be taken seriously. Vanessa, who was close to her family, expressed on numerous occasions that she was being sexually harassed by a fellow soldier. Without there being a way, however, Vanessa did not feel safe, and she did not trust that the military would solve her problems. Without there being a way for the suspected individual to be held accountable, situations like Vanessa's would continue to occur. With the shockwave of Vanessa's passing, her story sparked many female soldiers to come forward and trend with the hashtag #IamVanessaGuillen. In an article by the Lily News, women described the movement as their version of Me Too, a collective reckoning of widespread harassment and culture that encourages survivors of sexual assault to stay quiet. For years, women have been experiencing sexual assault in the military, however, but it has been overlooked or dismissed. The repercussions of such situations can leave lasting effects such as physical or mental trauma to the individual. The terrifying truth of sexual harassment in the military is troubling and unjustified. Being a female myself, I can definitely say that I always have to think twice. I can definitely say that my safety is always a worry. I always have to think twice before going out alone at night, and I always have to double check my surroundings. With that being said, this will bring me to my first question directed at Tyler. So Tyler, as a man, would you say that you are plagued with these same issues?
No.
So ultimately, the safety of women in this line of profession should be addressed and resolved. Those serving our country should not have to fear their own people. Furthermore, the truth stands that women who serve our country are at risk for violence or sexual harassment to occur. And women should not have to worry that the career that they choose will inflict harm onto them. In the article, Facts on Military Sexual Trauma and Statistics by Duplantis, the following is stated. 20,500 service members were sexually assaulted or raped by, including 13,000 women and 7,500 men. But looking at these numbers, there are more women affected by this than there are men. This will bring me to my next question for all of you guys. By a show of hands, who thinks that there should be more protection in place for service members? So, unfortunately, the amount of protection for these service members is unaccounted for. Sexual harassment occurs frequently without there being any repercussions in place. This only proves that the United States of America needs to repair the damages that are happening within their own country and hold those that are guilty accountable. While the reality of what women in the military face is tough to swallow, the solution to prevent these troubling accusations will create a safeguard for all of those involved. So, this would mean enact a bill that protects are many in favor of changes and procedures to be implemented in the military. The I Am Vanessa Guillen Act was introduced by Jackie Spear, who is a representative of California's 14th Congressional District. Jackie introduced this act back on September of 2020, but it did not receive votes by Congress and later died out. This act would hold sexual harassment as a crime in the Uniform Code of Military Justice. It will allow service members to report their concerns confidentially, as well as prosecute sexual offense outside of the military chain of command. The importance of this act can change the lives of many. With more security in place, service members involved can safely report their crimes to the accused. Even though this act has not been approved by Congress, it signifies a rallying support for change. In order for this act to pass, it needs the support of the public. With this being said, I encourage all of you to reach out to your local representatives and bring this issue back to the forefront of Congress to be discussed and implemented. Our closest representative to California State University of Long Beach is Alan S. Lowenthal. So be proactive and strive for better initiatives to be put in place. Service members need your help for their voices to be heard and their concerns to be answered. Ultimately, the dismissal of these issues should no longer be tolerated. With that being said, those who are serving our country show a tremendous amount of bravery and deserve respect. If this act were to get passed, then we will be able to protect those that protect us. As of right now, there are numerous cases that are currently going unreported. By passing through the legislation, we can create a safe space for those to report crimes that are committed. As I wrap up my speech, I encourage all of you to continue the battle against unjust circumstances. Today, I have brought attention to the safety of service members, followed by the solution that could end this troubling harassment. Due to the safety concerns of women in the military, laws should be enacted to protect them. Vanessa Guillen was just one out of many female soldiers who dealt with sexual harassment. In order to protect others from facing her same fate, we must take action and punish those accused.